Okay, welcome folks to the 2023 Bearcat season of the Coaches Show. Presenting the Coaches Show here, brought to you by the Bearcat Foundation. I'd like to thank our sponsors, University of Arkansas at Rich Mountain, as well as Sterling Machinery, and Mena Insurance, and Union Bank of Mena. Hometown banking at its best. I'd like to thank those folks for helping bring this broadcast to you here today.
And everything's gone super smooth today.
Absolutely super smooth.
Probably
yes.
the smoothest opening of any Coach's Show.
We get the sweat off of our brow here.
Ever had.
Got to keep the duct tape and popsicle sticks here going.
Yeah.
Hopefully they stick together. And this hastily put together. Sorry we're bringing it to you a little bit late this week, but what a nice occasion here.
Yeah.
You know, we just let's have a little bit of recap as this off season's gone on, and looking at it from afar, I'm just going to present this out there. It just seems to me like there's a special sort of energy. You've got the off season workouts, which you become aware when you see lots of Bearcats in the gym, and even the private gyms, as well as working out all through the off season. I just don't think people understand that played. Old guys like me don't understand the level of commitment it takes to bring this team to get to August.
Right.
It's year round.
Yeah, and I mean that's, you know, people still ask us, you know, why we don't do two-a-days or why you're not, and you just don't have to anymore because, you know, in the old model, you didn't have the spring football, you didn't have a bunch of summer. Summer was kind of voluntary. You had to do two-a-days back in August, back in the day, because you never saw your kids for months. You know, now, like you said, we see them year-round. So it's good and bad. I mean, you have to balance that out. You don't want to burn them out. You don't want to push them too hard because it is a long-term game. But it definitely is an advantage that you know, the schools have now.
And something I don't think people understand. Well, I say people. It's the older folks that played high school football, is you've got at least five events. I mean, you got lots of stuff happening all throughout the year, but you've already, prior to that Mansfield scrimmage, you had at least 5 team camps, which is live action, full contact.
Yeah, so we can have up to 8 in the summer. So yeah, we max those out usually and do 8 different camps between end of May, June, and July. And so yeah, we're pretty busy, but what that allows us to do is we have pretty much everything installed and ready to go by the time we start fall camp, and now it's just time to execute it. So,
but that level of commitment from these athletes is a different level.
Well, we talked about the group we have right now is the 30%. I tallied up and kind of did the math, and 70% of their classmates aren't a part of the team. You know, they are the 30%. Between 10th, 11th, and 12th grade boys that are playing football, that are dedicated enough to put it out there every day and be a part of it. So it's
that's interesting,
special.
Coach.
Yeah.
It is. It's about 30% is people that want to put forth the effort.
Every day, consistently, not just sometimes, but all the time.
To present that show to us. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Those guys were willing to put in that extra work.
Yes, sir.
And it's absolutely awesome, and it's a tribute to these kids to be able to get to that point. So we. Let's set the stage a little bit for Friday night. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, we're coming into that off of that Mansfield scrimmage. On a scale of 1 to 10, if you could have a negative on that scale, we were both surprised.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird deal. We thought, you know, defense played well, but there were still some things we were disappointed at with them. But offense, we really struggled.
Real struggle.
And there was, I think, a lot of different variables that took place into that. But the best part of it is that we knew it wasn't who we were, and we knew we could fix it. You know, it's a lot more concerning if you look at that and you go, we just don't have the talent. We just don't have the ends within the means and everything like that. But we did, and so. You know, we worked really hard, and we pushed them really hard throughout the next week and a half to really fix some of those things.
And that was, so coming into Friday night, and the people that had been there, and and I watched footage and everything, you're really nervous about Friday night.
Yeah. I mean, because your last taste in your mouth is a poor performance in a scrimmage, nonetheless. You know, on the road against. A good team. Mansfield's a good team, but it's a team that we had seen in the summer, and we should have performed better, and we didn't. So you kind of still got that pit in the stomach you're ready to get out of, and again you're in that first game, so you got those first game jitters, and we got a lot of returners. Okay, so we our offensive line back, our skill guys, but we still have a few other sophomores that are starting, including our quarterback and our center. But we're also a different team than we were last year. So there's still a lot of change and transition that has happened between last year and summer and into now, and putting it all together is still going to take some time.
A whole different look offensively.
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
and I wanted to bring that up. I wasn't trying to pick on you about the bring up the Mansfield scrimmage again, but so you're setting the stage for this Friday night, and you know, I'm sure you understand the fans are quite nervous after that, and then so
yeah, right. We all were. For us again, I understand the fans being nervous. We weren't. I wouldn't say we were nervous, but we understand the urgency. You know, that's what we had. We have to be intentional. We have to be the urgency of getting to where we need to be to fix it. And again, we weren't perfect. I mean, we put 39 points on the board and did really well, but we started out pretty slow on Friday and given
offensively,
right?
Yeah.
Given two great positions on the field in our first two series, and we came out with field goals with them, but we want to capitalize on that a little quicker offensively. But overall, super proud of them. Again, we were very hard on them. We challenged them. I thought we had to be very intentional as coaches about why we performed the way we did, and what just all the kids' fault. As far as we had to reflect as far as coaches and go, hey, what can we do to put them in better position to be successful? And I'm really proud of where we're able to. To accomplish
once you bring up we had turnovers on the first three possessions, I believe it was. The D Queen Leopards had a really hard time with the pitch.
And snap on the punt, I think, was the first one.
Yeah, the snap on the punt, that's right.
So
we're able to get great field position and not able to capitalize on it fully. You want to punch that thing in the end zone. We ended up coming away with a couple field goals, but boy, once they got rolling there, we really got rolling.
Yeah, for sure. And I told the guys this week, I said, the game wasn't perfect, especially in the first half. It was 19-7 at halftime, and right before half is when they had, their really only drive they got on us, but they went down and scored and whatnot. And I felt like the reason we were able to overcome that, we were able to overcome the slow start on offense, and the reason we were able to overcome a little adversity before halftime was because we had such a great week of practice. We were focused, we were locked in, we took our coaching. We have to realize we still have a lot we have to take care of. We haven't done a whole lot, as a team as we're currently embodied. So we have to stay hungry and have that chip on our shoulder. And once we think we arrived, we haven't. And we still have a long ways to go. And our kids have been great at going and sticking to our goal and our vision. So.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at some of the footage from that great Friday night performance.
All right. So I didn't get the first one, but we get the ball back from a bad snap. And like I said, we really want to come out and first three plays for us that didn't go great. I think we fumbled the second play from scrimmage. We didn't catch the ball at quarterback and went back and got on it. But anyway, I think we have one of the best kickers in the state. He also doubles as a really good receiver and a really good DB as well. But anytime we're able to come out with points, we're happy here. And Hyde does a great job of kicking this field goal right out of the gate. And like I said, we don't come away with it with 6, but we come away with it with some points and a chance to get on the board first, so we were pretty excited about that.
And that's a huge luxury that a lot of high school teams don't have, is to have that kicker to be able to capitalize and get 6 points.
And of course, we've had to shore some things up on our field goal unit, and they've worked really hard this week to do that. But again, pretty excited about where we were able to come from that. Looks like another field goal, so this is our second drive. Again, we came out and got put in another great position. I think, like you said, it was a bad pitch. I'm not sure why that's not on here. It should be, but I guess it didn't get on there as far as the turnover goes. But defense came out great. Both first two series, they were flying around. Our defense is playing so reactionary, so fast. If we can just keep the discipline part in it, but like we tell them, man, I mean, a lot of mistakes can be cleaned up by how hard you play and how physically you play, and we're doing that. And one thing I always took pride in as a defensive coordinator, and Coach Arnold does as well too, is you're not going to catch us out of alignment very often. If we can be lined up in the right spots and play hard and fast, we don't have to be perfect. And so
huge against, especially these last 2 weeks with the scrimmage and this one with those option attacks, they really got to pay attention.
Right, exactly.
Alignment and assignment.
And so Hyde, Michael showing a lot of courage here. They're getting a good rush out of D Queen, and I think that's something D Queen probably worked really hard on, because obviously we beat them on a field goal the last second last year. And so they probably worked really hard at coming off and getting us here. But again, a good job, a good snap by Brody, a good hold by Michael, and then a good kick by Hyde. We get on the board early, get 2 quick field goals, and we're able to.
You got 3 of your premier athletes involved in that, don't you?
Yes, that's right. That's right. So again, defense was flying around all over the place, and And this is a sophomore, Jimmy Glenn, getting up there, forcing that fumble, and then we see Caleb Cox and Maddox Medlin come over the top. Maddox was mad. He said that Caleb took this fumble recovery away from him. Again, good things happen when you get people around the football, and you can see all the red helmets and black jerseys flying to the ball, and just a really, really good job.
Jimmy Glenn's kid, there was a late slate there to be able to come in and start for you there.
Yeah,
defensive
right. Yeah, and so he's a physical kid. He's got a lot of upside, and he's still got a little ways to go. But he did a really good job the other night. So, all right. So we got another turnover here too. Again, just flying around like you said. They had a little bit of trouble hold on to the ball. But anytime we're Coach Arnold, we put a lot of emphasis on creating turnovers with our defense, and we spend a lot of time each week in a turnover circuit and doing a lot of different things and teaching these kids how to get the ball. But I like seeing the excitement we have too. Like we're getting on the ball. Defense gave our offense great field position all night. You know, you look at our offensive numbers at the end of the night, and they're not great yardage wise, but it's because we played on a short field all night.
Short field,
so
exactly.
You know, this is our third drive here, and we come out of our first two drives pretty disappointed. But I was really, really proud of the reaction off of that because we didn't let that carry on to the rest of the game. After we got those first two drives out of the way, it's like we settled in and we wanted to take a shot here. We felt pretty confident. 2nd and 2 is a pretty good position, short into the field, so we're in 4-down territory. It's a good place to take a shot right here. So we talked and dialed one up, and you know, Dax has great footwork here. Steps in his pocket, has a little bit of pressure, and this is what I love seeing out of Dax here as a sophomore because he stands in there and he takes the hit. He doesn't back away and sells it. Gives us a good fake. Mike does a good job selling it because he got the ball he got in the ball quite a bit in the first two series. So he's got to sell a good run. He steps up, has good footwork, and delivers a great ball to Elijah Smith, who's running a great route and gets open. And
I want to point out something. The quarterback, he doesn't know that that's not going to be a knockout shot. He doesn't know if the guy's going to have time to pull up
you got to have some courage, and that's hard. I mean, because that was actually his birthday Friday night, so he just turned 16. He's still a young kid playing some juniors and seniors and having to be standing in that pocket and just an outstanding throw, great pocket presence. I'm really proud of because that's something we've worked really hard on. All right, here we go again. We get good field position. We're moving the ball down. Brody Peters had an outstanding game. Ran for 104 yards. Him and Michael are a great 1-2 punch, really back in the backfield. And one of the best things about where we were offensively last year is it really established a run game mentality for our offensive line. Sometimes if you get in a spread and you're throwing the ball around, it's hard to get your linemen bought into that run game mentality. It's hard to get your backs to get bought into that. So I think that's one thing that a big benefit we got out of last year was that run game physical mentality, because that's kind of been our philosophy. We want to be able to open it up, spread it out a little bit more, throw the ball a little bit more, but we still want to be able to run and be physical just like we were last year.
I want to talk about, bring up some individual names there because they don't get that a lot unless it's something bad. But I saw Kyler had a couple plays.
Oh, Kyler had a great
spectacular.
Kyler had a great game. You know, Carter Cossey's our left tackle. He's back, and Kyler Hastings. I've talked about those two guys before, but those are two guys who have earned every single thing they've gotten.
Matt Cannon, I saw a couple plays, and and it's hard to know because you want those guys to obviously get the right assignment, but then to take at certain periods of time and just drive their guy back,
just being physical.
Pancake,
that's
absolutely.
Right. And then like I said, Hunter's back at right tackle and done a great job, and Max Roach is at right guard, a kind of standout sophomore, and Grayson Farringer has really stepped up and done a good job at center. He's earned that job over the summer, and him and Luke Floyd.
It's been a competition.
Yeah, Luke Floyd is right there too and done a good job, and Luke's still gonna find a lot of playing time on the offensive line and has done well as too. So we're really proud of where the offensive line is and where the mentality has been, and for them to get a good push here and get the ball in.
Like you're talking about establishing that run game and that attack.
Because if we can be physical, we want to establish our pass game through our run game. We don't want to flip it. I think if we can establish our pass game through our run game, then it really opens everything up for us. Okay. Again, this has been a good play for us. We've kind of had to adjust a little bit, but just a double handoff here to Brody, and he gets a big play off of a 3rd and long situation, and just a good looking football play. This is a play for us. Again, this is the one that we ran at Mansfield, and they fumbled it in the backfield, and they got scooped and scored for 6.
Yeah.
And so but for the most time, these are our two guys we want here running the ball in that situation, and then again they do a really really good job for a big play. And
Brody's a kid that just punches above his weight, and really Michael as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You can see that weight room work over the summer.
They're driving here. We unfortunately give up the second half kickoff. We got the ball back, and then we fumbled the opening kickoff again. That's one thing I was really proud of. We weren't perfect, definitely sloppy, but we overcame a lot of adversity Friday night, and we're still a young team. I mean, we do have 10 seniors. We have two seniors that are consistent starters for us at this point, but we're still a young team with some juniors and a few sophomores sprinkled in there as well. So to overcome the adversity like we did, slow start on offense, fumbled return off of KOR, and to be able to come back and overcome that, I was really, really proud of them. Speaking of sophomores, we're going to see one of them here make a big play. A great break on the ball. The ball's overthrown a little bit, and Trip Hensley is able to go hawk it down. And what I really like about it, too, is he wasn't just satisfied with the interception. He stayed in bounds and got us a few extra yards as well. So
Kid's just a heads-up player right there. He picked his spot and went right to it. If you look at this break on this, I mean, he as soon as that thing leaves his hands, he knew exactly where that spot was.
Yeah, and a great pass rush. Another sophomore at the bottom there, Guy Sanderson, doing a really good job pressuring the quarterback. And really, if you look at that whole defensive line, man, they are driving and really making those guys work. So Mason Sullivan, Max Rocha, Maddox Mellon's down there, Jimmy Glenn, all those guys have done a really, really good job on the defensive line. And again, Caleb's getting in position to make it hard. So good job by the secondary defense again, man. We forced, I think, 5 total turnovers, and we didn't turn the ball over offensively. We did on that kickoff return, but we didn't turn the ball over offensively. So that's always a good recipe for good things to happen.
Absolutely huge. Very efficient in the passing game.
Good run here. Again, it's actually technically, I guess, called a pass because we tossed it up first, but a good little run here out of our back as well. I think within this same drive, we had a good 4th down conversion. We got in a fourth down situation, and again, Dax did a really good job stepping in, settling in the pocket, and delivering an easy pass there to Elijah Smith, who caught the first down ball. So really good job. And then we finished that drive off again here with Brody Peters going in. And with Brody and Michael, the first guy's usually not gonna tackle them, and if you come in sideways, you're in trouble. And we've been eager to see that in the game situation, because in the summer we were like, man, they're breaking a lot of tackles, so we're eager to see this if it parlays off, and it did. And
in those team camps, you saw spots in there where they were just untackleable.
Yeah, and a good job there. Here's the 4th down actually here, so you can kind of see that Dax again just does a good job with his footwork. We know that's something we really challenge Dax with. We again, as coaches, look back and realize, hey, where do we really need to push each player? And one thing we challenged Dax with was his footwork. Being super intentional about his drops and his work in the pocket and whatnot. Man, he's done an outstanding job and worked hard on that. And just for a sophomore to step up and make this throw in a 4th down situation, and a great read, because he can go one of two ways, based on where that defender goes, and the defender goes out there with Caleb Cox there in the flat, and Dax knows to deliver at that little spot route there to Elijah. So
one of the things I was excited about, and you're going to think I'm crazy, but every quarterback's got that internal clock.
Yeah.
You're guessing plus or minus 3.5 seconds or whatever it happens to be, depending on your route package. And one of the things I like to see is guess wrong on the too long side. Mm-hmm. And we saw Dax take a sack.
Yeah,
I believe it's on this drive.
Exactly, and that's
on this drive.
And that's okay.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and he's backing that clock up, settling down, and to see him take a sack, and we didn't see that as a freshman.
Yeah, and he's just really pocket presence is something we've really worked hard on him with. And I'll give our offensive line credit. One of the things with being so run heavy and so wing T oriented last year, we didn't pass pro a lot. We didn't pass protect a lot. As far as in layman's terms, I guess, it's a different kind of block when our offensive linemen have to protect the quarterback when he's throwing.
Yeah, exactly.
You kick your foot back, you set your base. We did work on it some, but that's not who we were last year. So it's something Coach Lutmer's worked really hard, and Coach Valencia have worked really hard on the offensive line with. And we're still getting better, but pass pro's been pretty good so far, and we're excited to see that. Again, another rushing touchdown. This time Michael gets him one. Just a great job. You can see Brody Peters just laying the wood there on the kick out block and putting somebody on his back.
Spectacular block.
And
right
Max getting up to second level. And when you start seeing people turning sideways, just a really good job. And Carter Cossey getting a good down. I mean, Carter just beautiful, really, to be honest with you.
Really was.
And just a really good job by everybody and getting in and making plays. Just physical, grind out football right there, and that's what you got to do when you're down there.
You see a lot of personal conduct penalties on the other team. You can tell that. I mean, you just knocked the fight out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Halfway through the third quarter. I mean, they were getting down on themselves, and in turn, their mouth started working more.
Right. Exactly. Right. And it was. We hold our kids accountable. Pretty. We don't want our kids to get in that extra, but I do want them to show emotion. I would much rather have to ring in the emotion than to get the emotion out of you.
That's a good point.
Now, some of them make me pull my hair out a little bit quicker.
I saw that. I wouldn't mention it.
But I'll also take up for them, just like I did in this game right here. Because I thought our kids did a good job controlling their emotions for most of the game. And if I feel like they're getting in trouble and the other guy's not, I'll take up for them. So I was proud of them. But good play here. We felt like this play was going to hit all week, and a good job by Dax throwing it back shoulder, because if he throws it forward, then it doesn't. And a good adjustment by Sean. Sean Sullivan's made a lot of big plays throughout the summer, and we're happy and glad to get him in the end zone there. And so a really, really good job by both those guys.
See big things from that connection throughout there.
Yeah, and so and we're across the board. We have a lot of guys who can get open and catch the football, and so we're pretty excited.
It is a good group of receivers. It looked good in the summer whenever you guys go to that passing game. I mean, there's a lot of different options of kids that can make something happen.
Yeah, and so, man, I'm really proud of them. I mean, we knew, coming into this game that this was we had the capability to win this game and win it big. And to me, anything less than winning it big would have been a disappointment, because I knew we were better than that. We want to play up to where we are, and we were able to come out and win this game big. By the end of the night, mercy rule was on. It wasn't even mercy, because they wanted to run it. So when you're doing that's a good thing.
They were
as
asking
well.
for it.
Again, very, very proud of our kids. I told them, as disappointed as we would have felt, during the scrimmage and how we felt leading up to that, man, I'm even more excited about the outcome of Friday. But then again, now we move
Turn the
past
page.
it, right? We turn the page. We don't look back at things we've already passed. So every day matters. Saturday is a reflection day for us. We bring the kids in on Saturday and we reflect, good or bad, on what happened on Friday. Sunday we recover, and then Monday is Middle Monday for us. We get back at it. So again, really, really proud, and what a great crowd again. I mean, gosh, an amazing crowd. I thought that we had one of the best opening night crowds. We love opening at home, it's just something special about opening your season at home when you got a lot of fans in the stands cheering for you and watching you play, and it just means something. Absolutely.
Well, speaking of turning the page, next week we're going to Center Point.
Yeah, and that's again new challenges for us. Center Point had a rough opening game to their season, but there's no doubt they're better than
who did they play?
They ended up playing Hackett. Hackett's a pretty good team, and it didn't go well for them. But like I said, they're going to be ready for the Bearcats. I know that. Nobody in our room has beaten Center Point at the varsity level. They were able to get us last year. We played them years and years ago, and last year we got them back on the schedule, and they got us last year, I think 15-13. Had a really good team last year, and I was really proud of the way our team last year competed with them. But our expectations are higher now, and we've like I said, we've never beat them at the varsity level with this group of kids that we have. So it's our first true away game, as far as travel, and so it's a different way of preparation, and there's a lot of different variables that again we're going to have to handle the right way, and they're going to be prepared and ready for the Bearcats.
Absolutely.
And again, we have things. We have a vision for our goals, and I think we've done a good job of keeping that vision. And
if I'm not mistaken, Center Point last year they brought a spread attack.
Yeah, they kind of spread it out to run it a little bit more. They're definitely more of a run-heavy offense this year. A really, really good tackle, number 71. He won't be hard to spot because he's the biggest guy out there. Played really well against us last year. Really good back as well. Their defense flies around the football and is physical. And of course, Coach Sandifer, Matt Sandifer, was here with us for 3 years and is over there. Is actually their defensive coordinator. So he's going to take a lot of pride in it and have those guys ready to play. And and going to be aggressive with us. So we're going to have our hands full, and we hope their hands are full too. And it's going to be a good Friday night football game.
And it'll be available live on the Bearcat Foundation YouTube streaming channel. Will we be doing it at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock?
Yeah, we're back to 7.
Back to
we're
7
7 o'clock, and we have been talking about letting everybody know to bring their chairs. It's a very small section of bleachers, and the band is going, so they'll take up the majority of that seating. So definitely probably want to bring chairs and whatnot. You'll be, because a lot of people will be standing around fences and everything.
Absolutely. So let's wrap it up here. I'd like to thank our sponsors again, University of Arkansas at Rich Mountain, where you can continue your education after getting a degree right here in Polk County. Any degree, you can continue your education at any other University of Arkansas system school at the same tuition, and as well as Sterling Machinery. Great things going on at Sterling Machinery. Go see, a lot of career opportunities. Also like to thank Mena Insurance and P.T. Plunkett, the Grand Poobah of the Bearcat Foundation.
Yeah, the Godfather.
The Godfather made it happen, as well as Union Bank of Mena. We've got a great group of sponsors, but none better than Union Bank of Mena, hometown banking at its best. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on this Bearcat Craig Bentley Coaches Show, and with that, we'll sign off.